Historically, the Black community has faced severe underrepresentation when it comes to the reporting of Black news. For this reason, the Black community has found themselves having to create their own forms of communication in order to spread their own news and pertinent information. One prime example is the Memphis Free Speech newspaper created by Ida B. Wells. It was through this newspaper that she spread the word about the lynchings of her close friends and encouraged her community to move away from the South, contributing to the migration patterns of the Black community.
The Great Migration, also known as the Black Migration, is the recurring readjustment of African Americans across the U.S. A resource used in the constant movement of the Black population is the use of the grapevine, which has historically been used to share important information regarding Black navigation.
Mary Ann Shadd was a journalist and a publisher that had a tremendous impact on the US and Canada. If we look at how her journalism and reported affected then, it is a form of important media that helped get the word around and to promote activism amongst all kinds of people. If we compare that to the now, social media like Twitter, Instagram, we can compare that her way of reaching out was the beginning of the expansion of news to people all around the world, not just one country.
Another example of Black community organizing is the Montgomery bus boycott. This historical protest began when Rosa Parks challenged segregation on a Montgomery bus route. Joanne Robinson, the president of the Women's Political Council, had previously challenged Montgomery city buses for equal access, so she used the momentum created by Parks to organize a one-day protest. The NAACP and Dexter Avenue Baptist Church quickly became involved, spreading unprecedented coverage of the event. Black leaders subsequently met in the Holt Street Baptist Church to plan a long-term campaign against the bus network. These channels of communication are similar to the modern-day use of social media in that Black community members were the conduits of information for others. News outlets didn't pick up this story until meetings at churches led to a greater movement. Similarly, news stations today rarely publicize the issues facing Black communities, meaning that folks must rely on social media to spread awareness of these events.
In February of 2009, 3 years after Twitter's creation, the term Black Twitter appeared in Google's search volume index, meaning that someone searched Black Twitter enough times that Google started tracking it. In October 2009, a Pew Research Center study reported that Black Americans use Twitter 3 times more than other polled demographics. Social media platforms quickly became a way to amplify real conversations about the experience of Black Americans. Hashtags were used as a way for an individual to contribute their ideas to a larger conversation. The hashtag #SayHerName highlights political injustice and police brutality against Black women. Black Lives Matter started as a hashtag, but later became an international activist organization. Other popular hashtags, including #MeToo, #GirlsLikeUs, and #TransIsBeautiful, were all created by Black women to highlight injustices and violence faced by women, trans women, and women of color.
These photos of students organizing online indicate a sense of closeness and a necessity to create spaces for Black students. The African Student Union at UCLA expressed online their request for a Black resource center on campus, and Black students from across different universities expressed their support. Setting aside any school rivalries, it appears that the larger issues of Black students are lacking proper support in predominantly white institutions, and these student-run organizations recognize the urgency for solidarity.
Overall, Black Americans have used social media as a virtual bat signal to highlight the injustices faced by the Black community that go ignored by mainstream news platforms. The Black community has used social media platforms to create a space for their voices and stories to be heard.